Okay, I wasn't sure. I was like, okay, it went black. It's supposed to automatically go. So, yeah, good. Hi, everybody. Uh, the new time, it's not really a new timer. It's built into Restream. And so I clicked on it and I used that opportunity, like that minute to like turn on my microphone because I have to have my microphone off during the normal countdown. Otherwise, my microphone goes over top of the music. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, sorry. I was, uh, I was playing with blue screen versus green screen testing for potential new job. Anyway, I hope everybody's doing well. Somebody scanned the QR code. So yes, I only put that up there because with the new job and my lack of knowing what on earth is going on, I like having a newsletter where it's just a list of people's, email addresses. So if whatever happens, I can get in touch with people. So, yeah, if you haven't signed up for the newsletter, it's free. I'm not selling anything. It's just a way that I completely control. I host the newsletter, and even if everything else got shut down, I would still be able to contact everybody. So anyway, uh, so you say echo hello. I'm hoping that's like a bash thing, and it's not that I'm echoing. I think I only have one microphone on. I'm just going to assume that that was a bash command saying hello and hello. Uh, yeah. Anyway, so this is you probably noticed not very much happened with any of my stuff this past week. I thought that after the past week, I would have so much more clarity on what my new job meant in general, what it meant for other things. But if anything, I'm more confused. So, Dwayne only has about 30 minutes. Brown is in the oven. Homemade veggie soup. Nice, nice. Yeah, I think we might be doing a family dinner, but I'm not positive. My wife works now on Sundays, and so we used to do brunch, but now sometimes we do dinner. I don't know what's happening. That's kind of been the theme this week for me is I don't even know what's happening. Print line, hello all. Yes, okay. Um, anyway, yeah, I managed to get out a newsletter, and that's about it this week because I did finally get my contract. I have a start date. I have a start date of October 16th to start at CBT Nuggets. I got my contract. The problem is, you may remember that I talked before last Sunday. I talked with who will be my new manager, and he said that I could continue to do YouTube stuff as long as it wasn't the same thing that I was training on at CBT Nuggets. And that was very encouraging because I'm not going to be their Linux trainer. Currently, John McGovern is doing their Linux training, which is great. John's great. He's even got a cool Scottish accent, Glaswegian accent from Scotland. But anyway, when I got the contract, it said that the non-compete clause says I can't make any videos that are on the same topic as videos I have created for CBT Nuggets. So my question and my clarification was, does that mean like in the past? Because I've clearly made Linux videos in the past, and I sent that to the lawyer. They have CBT Nuggets has an on-staff lawyer, and I sent that the middle of the week, and I haven't heard a peep back. So I just don't even know what it means. If I'm not allowed to do any Linux certification stuff, I guess my question, maybe that's what I, would love to have some information from y'all. What type of video should I do? I guess the only thing that I really have done for CBT Nuggets would be, assuming the worst, where I just can't do anything that I've done for CBT Nuggets, it would be exam prep. That's what CBT Nuggets does, is like exam prep. I guess I did just a generic Docker course at some point, but maybe just as long as, I don't do anything preparing for certifications, like, just do IT stuff, Linux stuff, but it's, without an objective list. We'll see how that goes. We'll see. I don't know. I hope enough to take down what I have. I mean, I have the first 2 complete sections of Linux Plus done and the entire Linux Essentials course done. So I don't know. I think maybe since I created those before, when I was not an employee, they would be able to get grandfathered in and I just couldn't create anything. I don't know. We'll see. I might be able to do, I did an Ansible course for CBT Nuggets, but it was pretty minimal. And I could probably do that. And it's so outdated. That was my question too, is for the lawyer is, all of the Linux stuff that I did for CBT Nuggets is extremely outdated. Even the Linux Plus course I did has been redone. And the old one is superseded. So I'm hoping that the answer is that I can make things as long as it's not something currently that I'm making for them, but we'll see. So that's why it's been just kind of this like holding pattern, thus the name of the live stream. I've just, I don't know what it is I'm going to supposedly be doing or not doing. So, I guess it could be, there's no like, Arduino of any sort that CBT Nuggets does. So maybe I could be get my soldering on. I could be talk about microcontrollers and stuff. That would be fun. And possibly, I haven't done a whole lot with Ansible. I almost feel like doing Ansible on YouTube is silly when Jeff Geerling exists, right? But I know he doesn't make like all his videos aren't on Ansible or anything. So anyway, I did not sign the contract. No, I did not sign the contract yet. And and if they say I can't do any, like I can't produce any while I'm an employee, then I will, try to make sure that at least I can leave up what is there. But it bums me out that I haven't finished Linux Plus. And I don't think that I can finish Linux Plus. No, but there's no way, because my daughter's wedding is coming up. And even if I was like a crazy cramming session, because here's the deal, I have to learn Google Cloud. And it's just a weird world. Google Cloud is just a weird world. And a lot of the coursework for Google Cloud stuff is like the business decision end of it. Like Cloud Architect is like, I don't know, it's complicated. So anyway, the Internet of Things. Santiago. I could do. I think that Jeff has. I think Jeff has a ton of videos. If you go to his actual channel, I think he has playlists on Ansible that cover most of the things in his book. But it hasn't been for a long time. He hasn't done Ansible stuff for videos for quite some time. But I think they're all still there. That's the thing. I don't think that it would be fair for them to ask me to take down what I have, what I've created when I was not an employee. But the half-done Linux Plus course would be the biggest bummer. So we'll see. And if they say, I can't, then I'll ask for a special exemption to finish Linux Plus, just so that it's, a complete course there. And maybe they'll go for that. But anyway, the reason that I wanted some clarification though is because I've done so many other things. I mean, I made videos for CBT Nuggets from 2009 until like, 2020 or 2021 or something. So, I mean, I covered a lot of ground there. So, let's see, where go. Yeah, so I will not be able, that part I'm sure, I will not be able to do Google Cloud videos for YouTube. That part I'm confident about. I'm also confident I got a real nice pimple here. That's nice. Yeah, because I'm a teenager. No, anyway, that's stress, I'm sure, from this past week. I could do, home labs with networking. Yeah, and that's something that, I do a lot of, especially because I have a small home lab here in my home, and then at my farm I have a bigger thing, and then I have the 2 properties connected with WireGuard, so it's as if the LANs are directly connected, but over the internet, which is really convenient for things like backup scripts, and I can just SSH directly into anything on the on the remote network, so that's really nice. setting up stuff like that. Yeah, I think there is a lot that I could do. If I'm not allowed to do stuff that I've trained in the past, even at CBT Nuggets, I think there's still a lot that I could do. And I really am confident about um, being able to make stuff on YouTube because there are trainers who currently do it. So, I'll see what's going on. And part of it is lawyer versus spirit of the contract too. I mean, the lawyer on staff he's a nice guy, but he's going to be making sure that every T is crossed and every I is dotted. Whereas, the owner may not be as concerned about what the blanket thing is. The contract tries to protect them as much as possible. And so I'm hoping that the lack of communicating back with me quickly is just trying to get everybody, all the stakeholders on their side to talk about stuff. That's my hope. So I hope to find out really soon. But let's see, detailed SSH. Yeah, I think I have like, what do I have, like 3 or 4 SSH videos? But yeah, I could definitely do. I haven't done an SSH video. You know what? That's not true. There was a course I made up. Gosh, it was years ago, but it was called Everything Linux. It was a CBT Nuggets course, Everything Linux. And one of the, there was probably 10 different videos in there on the SSH section. But again, that's getting so pedantic that I'm guessing, I'm hoping and I'm hopeful that it's going to end up, with, good news, but I just don't know yet. It's so stressful. Would I be able to do videos? Hold on, let's see. Would I be able to do videos on tools I've used for Linux or good apps? Yeah, and I did do that. So after I finished the Linux Essentials course, I took a break from certification stuff, and I did, if you look on my list of videos, there's like, Uptime Robot, and then I talked about Uptime Kuma, and I talked about pushover.net, and I think I had a WireGuard video, and I did a whole bunch of things that weren't certification specific, and they actually did well. They're popular because they're just fun topics. And so and when I'm finished with Linux Plus, assuming I get to finish it, I want to do that for a while anyway. I get weary of just doing all certification stuff. I hoped to do side by side where I would do like 2 videos a week, 1 Linux Plus, 1 not Linux Plus, 1 Linux Plus, 1 not Linux Plus, but I was just too busy to make that happen, and I want to get Linux Plus done. So, but yeah, there are other things I could do. I just hope that the guidelines are a little less rigid for me. I hope I can be flexible. Like, as long as I don't teach Google Cloud, right, on YouTube, that would be a really nice relief. I'm teaching that for CBT Nuggets, so because I wouldn't want to, right? It'd feel like I was double dipping. It'd be weird. So anyway, hold on, let me put this up there. Speaking of stress, once you start a CBT, you can take a vacation without worrying about servers crashing. Yes. And yes, actually, I hadn't even considered that, samples and tests. The way the pay thing works for CBT Nuggets, I can take time off anytime I want, which is nice, but it might even be unlimited time off. I'm not even sure, because I don't get paid unless I produce content. So, it's like when I produce it is totally up to me. But yeah, they, things will keep going if I'm not there. So that'll be that's true. That's very nice. It'll be almost like a regular job, or when I'm done at the end of the day with day job, it stops and I can, not worry about it 24/7. Yeah, I think the system administration stuff is going to be on a part-time basis still, but just, I mean, not to get too far into the weeds with Filecoin, but just like ramping down to recover collateral and stuff. So keep servers running, but they're not actively doing very much. So it should be very, 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 very easy, I would hope. But yeah, vacation, that would be cool. I could do since they disappeared, I'm going to pop them up when I respond here. Could do a really good course on how to look smooth ending live streams. Yeah, I call this search for the button. And this is the button double click. Oh, yeah. I have a skill set that I'm not putting that one on my resume. Let's see. I know it's like, could you do books on Linux? Yes, yes, absolutely. The only limitation there is with regard to creating video content released for free or for pay myself in by myself or in collaboration with another, privately sold, or yeah, that's the only limitation, is video stuff. So I can absolutely continue to write books and blog posts and that sort of a thing. So yeah, thankfully that part, I could even do, yeah, I could do Google Cloud Book even. That would be that would not be a problem at all. That there was, even in the original contract, the non-compete clause mentioned nothing about other media. So that's nice. Yeah, and I do get to dye my hair. There is no dress code at all mentioned in the contract, so that was interesting. So that part was true. I can look however I want, but yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna go completely like as green as I was, or if I'm gonna try to do like some like highlights here and there. I don't know. I don't know. I get to play around and see, but yeah, at least that part's gonna be fun. Yeah, Shane did actually, for a while there, was grabbing my puzzled look at the end of every live stream, which made me laugh every time. So yeah, yeah. If I it was, they were not embarrassing, they were just amusing because um occasionally I might ham it up a little, but every time I always forget there's so many steps to end a live stream when it's like using Restream, because you have to find the weird end stream button, but then it pops up a dialog box asking if I want to quit. And then they kind of individually stop at like on their own, the different places you're live streaming. Uh, we have a collection. Yeah, so there's, I think that is implied, but I mean, this is a this is a shoulder shot kind of world. So I don't even think pants are required for CBT Nuggets. So there's that. Because yeah, we're remote. All the trainers at CBT Nuggets are remote. It's weird for me to that I'm going back to CBT Nuggets. I'm not upset that I'm going back, but it's just odd. So we'll see how that goes. How does it work for the layout of the videos for CBT? They give you a template or layover? Sort of, yes, and that's changed over the years. And I don't know, I don't have access yet. I haven't signed the contract, so I don't have access to the system yet. But I still know some trainers, and I actually have access because of my other job to a lot of the training that exists that I can look at. And yeah, they have like branded, they have like a branded audio thing now, which they did not have when I was a trainer. It's like at the beginning, it's like a swooshy thing with like a special audio clip that plays at the beginning of every video. And I don't know if that's something that trainers add when we're editing stuff, or if that's something that is put in automatically by the system. Because again, they didn't have that when I was a trainer before. And then a lot of their IP, a lot of their CBT Nuggets logos there, like in an intro screen. Like if you pop up like this is picture of me and like the title of the video. But even that is a little different now, because when I was making it, it was just videos, and now they have a platform with their like integrated modules where it's like video and then like questions and then like possibly an embedded chart, and then like further down another video. So it is different. So I have to learn a little bit, but yeah, they provide all the stuff I'll need, all the branding, all that kind of stuff. That they provide everything. I get to do editing, and some of it might be injected, but for the most part, it's all provided, including all the hardware needs. So my thought is, I don't want to lose my place because there's still questions I didn't answer, but um, I I'm planning. I don't know how well it's going to work, but I'm planning to not use this as my CBT Nuggets backdrop, just because I don't want it to look like hey, isn't I've seen these videos, aren't these like on YouTube, or vice versa, like isn't that where he does CBT Nugget stuff? How is that appropriate for YouTube? So since this is what I've done on YouTube, I'm thinking about having this stuff just on YouTube, and then I have I'll point over there. You can't see. There's a smaller desk area that I'll probably have to modify because it's a small screen. But I'm thinking about making a separate recording area for CBT Nugget stuff, just so it is clearly different. And that's what this was about. I was testing out blue screen because my hair is probably going to be green, so I can't exactly use a green screen. So I was going to go old school and try a blue screen, even though they don't work quite as well for digital media. But I'm gonna, that's some of the stuff I'm gonna test. And if that doesn't work, I might just get like a plain white background, and be like get the clean appley look or whatever. I don't know. That's my plan. But have a different backdrop. I don't want to use the same backdrop because I think that it would send the wrong message. So yeah, that was about that. Pantslets makes me think Commando. Oh yeah. Yeah, oh, right. I forgot. So trousers and pants. Yeah. I promise I'm wearing blue jeans. There, I'll go. Doesn't get much more American than blue jeans, does it? I know it's not American only now, but I feel like it started here maybe. I don't even know if that's true. I think it did. Did blue jeans start here? Feels like it, but maybe not. Work. Yeah, Santiago works without pants. Yeah, remote working is great. Let's see. Here's one. Do I get free access to all the CB courses? Yes. In fact, I currently have access to all the CBT Nuggets courses, at least that are on their new platform, because my boss for my current job, or I'm a sysadmin, is the owner of CBT Nuggets. So, and before I moved to sysadmin, I was moved to another project that was a part of CBT Nuggets, but separate. I was helping work on storage for the new learning modules thing. So yeah, I've been moved around, the same boss, but now it is an actual different company, but I still had my login credentials for that system. So yeah, so I do. And yes, I will have full access once I'm a trainer there. The ironic thing is, and I do realize it's ironic, like in the real sense, not in the Alanis Morris that way. I don't learn all that well from video training, which is just bizarre. I know. I really enjoy making video training, and I think that it's the way that I'm possibly best at teaching. I don't know. I wrote a lot for Linux Journal too, but I have a difficult time focusing enough on video to learn from video, so I don't end up using CBT Nugget stuff to learn, even if I was wanting to learn one of those topics, which is kind of funny. Yeah. Is my current so no, and partially because it's the same guy, right? It's the same owner, different company, and I think he's gonna keep me on part-time to wind things down. So no, I mean, he told me that I was leaving, so I'm not panicked at all. And since it's the same person who owns both, yeah, it's going to be a nice smooth transition. That's what actually the date that I cut over is, so that there's a smooth transition there too. The end of pay period on one company, start of a new pay period in the next company, with no transition time. So yeah, it's going to be, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Again, because it's the same person, just different companies. There's not enough money in the world to make stepping into office. Yeah, so that's the funny thing. I live in northern Michigan, and there's not, good tech jobs up here really. And if in order to work in an office, I would have to move again, and I don't want to move. I mean, it's gorgeous up here. Yeah, we have a lot of snow and it gets, treacherous at times, but it's just such a gorgeous place. Plus, now my kids are adults and they're, putting down roots of their own. So, I mean, I gotta think that we're gonna be Northern Michigan people, my wife and I, until we kick the bucket. So yeah, I don't want to go into an office either. Although I do miss a little bit of interaction with people, I have to admit. I don't want to work like in cubicles, and I don't want to work in one of the big, like when cubicles got unpopular, and like the rooms just opened up and there was just like a bunch of desks and everybody was in the same room. I could not function in that. I would not have been able to function in that kind of an environment. And it's funny because when they would fly us out to CBT Nuggets once a year, to take photos and do all the bonding exercises and meet with the different teams, that is how CBT Nuggets was set up, where everybody is in a room together, and desks are like pushed so the people face in little pods and stuff. And I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. I would be far too distracted. I really like uh, running by people in the hallway and by the coffee machine, and then going to my office and shutting the door. That's the only way I'd be able to work in an office environment. When I did work in an office for the university, that was the way it was. I had my own office. I could shut the door. I didn't usually shut the door. Just being in my office was enough. And the people that I managed each had their own office too. So yeah, it was definitely good. Oh yeah. Da, 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 da. What I think about using. So flashcards. Yeah. So I am not a flashcard guy myself, but that does not mean I don't think they're a wonderful, wonderful way to learn. Either like physical flashcards, like literally index cards where you write on both sides, or I know there's a digital equivalent of flashcards, because a lot of trainers over the years would create flashcard systems for learners to use, which was cool. I never did that. I guess I'm kind of a douchebag, but yeah, that is definitely a real popular and real effective way for a lot of people to learn. I don't know how I learn best. I think I learn best by just doing it, and that's going to be rough with Google Cloud because I don't even know what to begin to do. I guess I got to think up projects that I could do in Google Cloud so that some of the tools make sense to me. Sorry, now I'm just rambling about like my insecurity about doing my job in a few weeks. Cubicle farm. Yeah. I would almost prefer a cubicle farm over the wide open office thing that is popular. I don't know if it's popular anymore. Since the pandemic, I think remote work is some of it has gone back to the offices, but I know a lot of people have just stayed remote, and it's worked good for everybody. It hasn't worked good for everybody in every circumstance, but I mean, in general, a lot of people just perform better remote, and they're able to do their job. So, yeah, I don't learn well the way that I teach, which is depressing. Yeah, same. So same with me, but I even like to interact with them in small bursts. In fact, so I probably have said this too, but right. So when my wife had her surgery on her foot, she couldn't drive. I mean, she couldn't walk. She was on like a scooter thing, and so every day I would drive her to work, and I would get her bags, like her computer bag, and like she has a bag with her lunch and her water bottle and books because she works at a bookstore and all those things. And so like two things, and like she has iced tea and hot coffee and a water bottle. And I would go in the back and I would get her scooter and get it out, set it up for her. And I would, carry her bags in and put away her lunch in the fridge and all that stuff. But when I would go in, I got to interact with her coworkers for like that minute and a half as I was unloading her stuff and, getting her set up for the day. And even after she could walk, I continued doing that. I would carry her stuff in because that minute of interaction with her coworkers, it was just kind of a nice way to start the day. So yeah, as much of an introvert as I am, and as much as I couldn't handle working at at a busy office, a little bit of human interaction now and then is kind of nice, which surprises me about myself because I really am an introvert at heart. But I guess people are important. Interact via team. So yeah, and I guess they don't do it as much anymore. The trainers used to interact a lot more with they use Google Meet, but whatever the company uses. I guess now it's less common, or it happens less frequently. But yeah, the video chats just aren't quite the same. They're better than not talking to somebody, but it's not the same as walking past somebody in the hall or getting coffee with somebody, that kind of a thing. At least to me, it feels like it's not quite the same. Our projects. Yeah, and again, it's funny. It's Google Cloud that I have to be the most careful on. Oh, you mean projects so that I can learn it? Yes, yeah, absolutely. I mean, and I have to. That's like my main job for the next couple weeks is prepping so that I can hit the ground running. Because if I don't start producing content right away, I don't get paid, and I really need to live indoors and pay my mortgage. So yeah, I really have to. That's my that's what this is about. I think the stress of learning something well enough so that I can immediately teach it. So we'll see how that goes. Um, and I don't that it might mean that the YouTube channel suffers. I hope I find out that I can continue to make the Linux Plus course, if nothing else, though. Uh, okay, Dwayne, good to see you. Enjoy that soup. Yeah, and the other thing, vegetable soup and something else. Enjoy it. I don't remember what it was, but yeah, enjoy that. I'm gonna pop this up. Oh, Sam's Club order. All right. See you later, Dwayne. Wish me luck this week talking to the lawyer. See, loads of people use mechanical keyboards. Yeah. I have thoughts on mechanical keyboards. And if Scott is still here, Scott just got a really nice keyboard for his birthday. I don't know if Scott is still here. I don't think he said anything for a while. So if you're here, Scott, yeah, please feel free to add your thoughts here. I know people who love mechanical keyboards. Kyle Rankin is one of them. He has the old what is it? Like the old PS2 style, like IBM M? No, IBM. I don't know, but he has like the original mechanical keyboards, and he has several in case one breaks. He can continue to use it for all times. I I know that you can get different resistant keys, some that click harder, some that click softer, some that are louder, some that are quieter. I like the feel of a mechanical keyboard because you can tell when the key has been depressed, like click, 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 click. I feel like can type a little more accurately and quickly. But, if I had like a Zoom, um, the problem that I have with it is a lot of times I do either teaching or live streaming. I've gotten scolded on Twit TV a lot of times for a loud keyboard because if you're typing something and your microphone picks up, the clicks, it just picks up clicks so bad that it can just ruin, especially a live stream. I have, like noise cancellation stuff on my microphone, and it's highly directional and pointed right at my mouth hole. But it's still those really clicky keyboards, especially if they vibrate through the desk and hit like your mounting arm on your microphone. It's hard not to hear those on screen. And some video courses, the clicking is cool. Like if I'm demonstrating something, hearing the clicking is almost like a reinforcement that, oh, it's currently time to type. But if I'm on Twit TV and interviewing somebody and he mentions some technology that I should probably know what is and I don't, so I quickly like look over to the side and start Googling it. When you can hear me Googling it because of the clicky, it's in poor taste, and I've gotten scolded for not muting myself. So yeah, that I have a love-hate relationship with mechanical keyboards. I don't have one right now. In fact, my there's like no sounds at all when it plays. And same thing with this. I'll show you. I use that when I was using a Mac. I would use one of these. Oh, that is filthy. That is disgusting. That is really gross. Check that out. I don't even know what that is. I'm afraid to find out what that is. That isn't even. You know what? That's not from my fingers. Something must have spilled because it's not like those are really commonly used keys. Anyway. These are super quiet keyboards too. And I liked that about them. I could write pretty decently with those keyboards, but they were silent. And that was the biggest thing for me. I hope I'm able to continue the Linux Plus course too. That's the, more than anything, I don't want to half leave a course. If I can't make other courses from here on out, cool. Fine. It is what it is, right? I knew that was going to be a possibility going back to CBT Nuggets, but I really want to be able to finish a course. And then if I can't, then I'm stuck like, do I delete the half a course that's there, or do I leave it? I don't even, I mean, I guess I would leave it and then just feel bad. I don't know. Maybe I could, um, see, that's the thing. The contract specifically says I can't even work with somebody else to create content. So it's not like I could say, like do the first section and then like ask another YouTuber to, do the last two sections, and like we make a universal playlist. Maybe I could get away with that, but yeah, I could probably get away with that as long as I didn't like appear in those videos if they did it. I don't know. If I can't, we'll cross that bridge when I get there. But it's interesting that I'm exactly halfway through. As far as the objectives go, I think the bulk of the material is covered, like, more than half the material is covered, but we completed sections 1 and 2, and now 3 and 4 are still done. I just think they're a lot shorter and easier to do. So, yeah, again, I like the clicky keyboards, but I just can't use them when I'm recording. Yeah. So, yeah, and I've never had that problem, and maybe it's just the generation of keyboards that I've had. Like I have the worst laptop I think Apple has ever made is the original MacBook, not MacBook Pro. It was just like the MacBook. It was a 12-inch USB-C powered MacBook. And it had, I think that was the model that had the notorious butterfly switches or whatever. I thought they were all butterfly switches, but apparently that's the one. And the travel, I don't remember what it's called, when you depress it, like how far the keys go down, is almost nothing on. Yeah, it's downstairs somewhere. I'd show you, but they barely pressed, but also there was no feeling that they were pressed. It was weird. Yeah, I hated that keyboard, and the laptop itself was just the absolute worst. I have an older, smaller 11-inch MacBook Air that is an order of magnitude nicer than that newer 12-inch MacBook, but I digress. That had the worst keyboard ever. So yeah, I tend to go for quiet keyboards, but not necessarily because I think they're better or easier or faster, literally just because they're quieter. And even the quiet mechanical keyboards are still louder than something that's like a silent, than like an Apple one. This one, again, I mean, you can kind of hear it. Yeah, but not much. You really can't hear much. And this is just a weird Logitech wireless keyboard that I got. So, and it looks like Scott must be gone. But if you talk to Scott in the Discord, he like has pictures. He just built a really cool keyboard, and it looks nice, and he says it feels and types really nice too. I mean, if I had to, if I was no longer doing video and I just got to like type, I'm gonna dig up a link here because they're super nice. The System 76 keyboards, have you seen those? I think they're called Launch. Let's see, keyboards, but they are spendy. I mean, it's all, open source, but they are spendy. Yeah, here. Let me go back. Here is. Yeah, so their Launch keyboards are cool. And I'm curious so do y'all like number pads on a keyboard? I am a huge, huge fan of the ones without the number pad. And I don't remember what they're called. No, not Numless. They have a name. Like if you look for them like on Amazon or something, there's a name for the keyboards that don't have no 10 key. 10 keyless? Something like that. There's like a specific term for it, but I really dislike the number pads. I think it makes a keyboard too big, and I really, really like this style keyboard, whether it's an Apple one or not, but I just really like this style. Full size. I do not like the smaller keyboards, like where the keys are like, oh, it's like an 80% key and they're smaller. I do not like those. But I like a full size keyboard and yes, Mason, 10 keyless. I do not like the number pad on them. I prefer a smaller one. And Yeah, those launch keyboards though, ooh, they are expensive, and I've heard they're amazing. I've heard they're, but I mean, I I don't know how amazing a keyboard would have to be for me to spend that much on it. I do not have one, and and I can't justify getting one. So yeah, but they look pretty cool, don't they? I mean, they're pretty sweet. Um, yeah, I know we were talking about mechanical keyboards. I think they feel better, or feel nicer. I just don't. Spectrum had the yeah the membrane keyboard. Yeah, I don't want to use a membrane keyboard. I think they're even louder than what I'm using now because it was like a oh this is a problem I have often. That was not the right cup. Mug is a gift from my wife. Dear husband, thanks for being my husband. If I had a different husband, I would punch him in the face and go find you. Love, your wife. I married well. uh, Samples and tests. You like the key, or you like the numpad. D. Brian Kimmel, you like it as well, or yeah, I don't. And do you use it then? Do either of you actually use it like for numbers? Like my wife, she has a laptop that she uses for various jobs that she's had. Right now, she uses it at work if she's making something, like if she's doing a display for the bookstore and she's like designing something, she'll use her own laptop. It doesn't have a number pad, but she really likes using a number pad for entering numbers. So I actually had to get her an external USB number pad. So it's funny that I prefer keyboards without number pads, and I had to buy her a number pad specifically so she could like do the whole like counting thing with all of her like fingers to type in numbers. So yeah, um, if you use a number pad, I could see it. So yeah, use a number pad for IP addresses. Not me. I've never used it for anything. I just, yeah, for some reason, it's just always been annoying to me. So when they started making keyboards without them, I was completely stoked. Um, and I have a couple, but not many. This one is, so I'm only using this one on my main computer because it's quiet. I actually got several of these for like streaming boxes, or like when I was doing the HTC Vive VR system, that connected to a computer. I would have this in the living room because, having a trackpad and a keyboard and, one small keyboard was really convenient. I never use the trackpad there, but I just don't have a good keyboard for this computer. So it's fine. It just works. And then the mouse, I'm just using like a standard wireless mouse. I don't know. I'm kind of lame when it comes to keyboards and mices, apparently. A lot of people like the number pad. I'm just not a number pad guy. I mean, to each their own. You guys are, hats off to you. That's great. I've never used one, and I've always been annoyed that it gets to take up that much room on my limited, that it gets to use up my mouse travel room. The layout without the number pad puts non-letter keys in weird places. Really? I guess the smaller arrow keys are weird. I mean, I've gotten used to those pretty quick, and yeah, this one has that too. The little tiny arrow keys on the bottom. I have a different keyboard, that a 10 keyless keyboard that seems more normal. I don't know. It's all, whatever you like kind of thing. Yeah, that Logitech keyboard is I mean, that's exactly what I got it for too. For the TV, like I said, when the HTC Vive was downstairs on the TV and I didn't want to have a separate mouse. So yeah, I have two of them. And then the little, and they're Logitech wireless. And so the little plug-in dongle thing, I had like it labeled and it was called Streamer. In fact, this one doesn't say Streamer, but yeah, the second one actually literally has a big piece of masking tape on the top that says Streamer, because it was for my streaming PC. Like when I had who knows what installed for streaming computer or for streaming television. It was probably like XBMC or well, what did it turn it? What did XBMC turn into? Cody. Yeah, well, that was a weird rabbit hole I went down. Sean, the numpad has a link at the end of the stream button that makes life easier. Lies. It does not. Although I could probably program one. I wonder if there is a. There is. Oh. Okay, I got to show you. Here, how can I put up a? I don't know. Yeah, I'll just do this. All right, ready? We're gonna go for a trip. Ready? Going on a trip to your favorite rocket ship. You didn't see anything yet. I'm gonna make sure I don't have anything. Yeah, there's nothing horrible. Okay, so this is the window that I see when I'm streaming. Restream. Yeah, see, I really did just look up the launch link for you. But check this out. End stream. Control G. So I could map something to Control G. I could use one of my numpad things, but I could make an end stream button, but I bet it still pops up that dialogue. Let's test and see if that has another thing. So if I do end stream, click, it's like, do you want to? No, I don't. And there's no way, probably enter would have worked. But yeah. All right. Enough playing around. Yeah, so I could make a key do that. It is all personal preference. You're absolutely right. It does have a dongle holder, doesn't it? I'm gonna be mortified if it doesn't. Oh yes, it does. It does, but it's stealthy. So here's sorry, that was probably loud. So here it is. Here's the keyboard. It's like, oh, there's no place for the dongle. What the heck? But it goes right there. That's the spot the dongle goes. So yeah, it goes in the cover. And there's not one on here. Hopefully that means it's the one plugged in. Does that mean the mouse has one? Nope, the mouse doesn't have one. So now there's just some dongle. But at least it's the unifying receiver. So I only need one receiver in the computer. Anyway. Anything else? What else could we talk? I guess we're running out of time here. I just had a stressful week where I'm not sure what it's in the cover, Santiago. Yeah. If that's so pull the cover off. It's in the battery cover. It holds it right there. It just goes right there, and then when it slips back on, it goes on. Yeah. See? That's what my new YouTube channel is going to be all about. Dongles and where they can be hidden. Got 2 of them keyboards left the dongles in customers' computers. Oh, that's annoying. Yeah, the nice thing about the Logitech unifying receiver is you can get any one of them, plug it into your computer, and install the software and have it search for a device, and you can turn on your device and it'll find the device and it'll pair it up. Even if the device is paired with a lost dongle, when you put the new dongle that you have in pairing mode, it will find all the devices that you turn off and turn back on, because I've lost more of those little dongle things than before. But you can put multiple on one. So yeah, if you get yourself a cheap Logitech device, you'll be able to use all those other keyboards and stuff. You just repair them with the new one. So that's nice. Yeah, hey, I gotta say, I feel good. We learned something today, so I was happy to pass that along. Random question regarding security. Only pop this up before it. Oop, wrong one. Pop this up before it disappears. I wonder if there's anyone here who might have thoughts on ISC2 by Corson. Well, cybersecurity versus pen testing route. Not sure what's best. I don't know what ISC2 is by courses. The last course I created for CBT Nuggets before I was moved was half of the pen test exam for CompTIA. And the difference between cybersecurity and pen testing is kind of a blue team, red team thing, if that makes sense. I don't remember the name for CompTIA. Maybe it's just called cybersecurity. I don't know what it's called, but there's the pen test is like the red team. You know, we are attacking, we're testing, trying to get into a system. So it's like the attackers offense. Red team is the pen testing thing. It's creepy. It hurt my soul to like teach things, uh, especially a lot of the biggest weaknesses that you test for with pen testing are manipulating people, you know, social engineering, and that just it goes against just my very soul, and I hated that. But the flip side of that is like the cybersecurity side is the blue side, like how to beef up your systems to defend against an attack. So like a lot of times if you go to a conference, like I'm sure something like DEF CON, but maybe something a little less dramatic than DEF CON, there will be blue team versus red team thing where they're actively working against each other. That would stress me out, just the whole situation. But that's the kind of thing that it's how you approach security from the, you know, learning by attacking or defending kind of thing. Oh yeah, they're super flexible. I mean, love or hate Logitech. Like I think that their camera software is the worst just because it never retains its settings. That's a whole nother YouTube channel worth of ranting there. But when it comes to their unifying receivers, they're very flexible. And yeah, even if a device like a keyboard or a mouse is paired with something else, when you have a new dongle in pairing mode and then it just has you turn the device off and turn it back on with the switch, they go right into pairing mode even if they're already paired, so you can repair it. So yeah, throw those out. Definitely keep those. And when you have extra unifying receivers, keep those too, because any unifying receiver works for any device. So it's super, super nice. I don't think they make USB-C dongles yet though, which is odd. People have created them by like, you know, soldering and hacking apart an old, but it's weird that they don't have a USB-C dongle. You have to use a dongle for your dongle to convert it. So that's just weird, I think. So okay, I like the idea of Bluetooth wireless keyboards, but I've only ever seen it implemented well once, and that is Apple. Apple seems to be the only company who can manage to get Bluetooth keyboards to not have that connection lag. I don't understand why every single Bluetooth keyboard I've ever used, except for an Apple keyboard on an Apple computer, when you have to wake it up if you want it to work. And the first couple keys are not going to go through. And then it is going to time out. I know, to save battery, it's going to time out and it's not going to work. So whatever Apple does is a little bit of magic. And I'm not, I'm not like, oh, I'm an Apple fanboy, but every other Bluetooth keyboard I've ever used has been frustrating in that it times itself out at the most inopportune times. Like I'll be typing like an article. Like I had a Bluetooth keyboard for some device. I don't know, probably a tablet of some sort. I don't even know what kind of tablet it was, but and I was like trying to be super cool and like type articles on my tablet, and so I had a Bluetooth keyboard. I'll show you. It's a cool keyboard. Hold on. Huh. Well, this is not even the one I meant, but this keyboard, right? In fact, this was for a different tablet. This was for, let's go on a journey, boys and girls. This was designed for, it was like one of the original Android tablets. It was 7 inches and it was a chunky boy. It was like this thick. It was super thick, and this clipped on, and it would be like the screen, like it was like a case for it. It would like clip onto it, and then you could unclip it and use it as a keyboard. But it's like a 78% size keys, so it's ridiculously difficult to actually type on. But this isn't the one I was thinking of. I just happened to see that sitting on my desk. I have another one that. Oh, I see it. So this one is actually cool, right? So it's this, and it unfolds, and see, it's even charged, it even turned on, and it's a full-size keyboard. And the really cool thing is, yeah, it turns on and works good and is easy to pair. It's designed for Android, Windows, iOS. I have no idea who makes it. This is not a sales attempt. It's very portable, foldable. But I would be typing, and as I was thinking, like, what word do I want to use? I already used the word really a really lot of times. So I'm going to use another word. And by the time I would think of the word and I would start typing, the first two letters wouldn't show up because the keyboard had to wake up. And I never found a setting anywhere. I don't know if it was the hardware that was like timing itself out or if it was the computer, but it was just super annoying. So anyway, that's my rant about Bluetooth keyboards. We're almost out of time. Let's see if I can catch up here. Having a clue about, I'm not even sure what, you know what? If not having a clue, that's pretty much the story of my life most times. Oh, if we're talking about pen test versus the other, ICS2 is just a website does security training for free. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure. I've never heard of it, so I mean, it's definitely worth checking out. I just know pen test made me icky. I thought, did somebody ask about the QR code? I thought somebody did somewhere. If somebody asked about, maybe that was somewhere else. I just saw a pop up asking about the QR code. The QR code, if somebody did ask, and I don't see the question there, but I thought it popped up. That's just part of Restream. Restream, it's a feature you can put in for Restream.io. But if you can make QR codes. It's just QR encode is a Linux command line tool, which is really simple. Um, there's online tools to do it, but oh, you know what? I have a video on it. Hold on. It's so cool. I can actually show you a video that I have of it. Remember when I said I took a break from cert courses after I finished Linux Essentials? Let's see, QR. Well, this yeah, here we go. When I did our annual scavenger hunt for so copy, close. Let me get back here so I don't lose my train of thought. Here's a video on how you can make really cool QR codes in Linux. But anyway, yeah, so for our scavenger hunt, I made QR codes for just all over the place. But the frustrating part is when you use an online, like web-based tool to make QR codes, they encode their own URL shortener so that if you don't pay them, they time out and the QR codes quit working because the QR codes that they create free for you point to their server, which then redirects it to whatever you want. And that ticked me off. And I didn't realize it until after I already printed all of them out. So I was so angry. Because yeah, I was just so angry that I wanted to figure out how to do it on my own. So yeah, there's tools. There's like that video that I just posted shows how to do it in Linux. There's a really neat program in for OS 10 if you're an Apple user. My OS 10 machine is over here. I don't remember what it's called. Just QR encode something. But yeah, I love QR codes. They're a lot of fun. I think this next year I'm going to do a lot of NFC tags because I have a whole bunch of them and you can encode them kind of like a QR code, but you just have to hold your phone close to it. So I might do a bunch of the NFC tags all over town for our Christmas Eve scavenger hunt family thing. Yeah, it's almost time again already. The Google Cloud book, I don't know. It's embarrassing how much I don't know Google Cloud. And like when I've watched some training on it, like, to try to prep myself, either from like my friend Ben did training before for Google Cloud, looking at, watching his stuff, or there's like Google provides a course. A lot of the things they say, I feel like I should already know. Like the terms they use feel like something that a project manager would know by heart, like, oh, these are terms that I know. So yes, let me apply that to, googly goo. But it's like, okay, what you're saying, I don't even understand what you're saying, much less how to apply it to Google. So yeah, I don't know. I feel that feeling that I like to help people not feel when I teach stuff. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna focus on. Get rid of that pain for other people. Yeah, I will. I got a really cool NFC writing device. You can write with your phone, but there's hold on just a second. I know that the time is about up, but I'll show you one thing real quick. So yeah, I don't have a link, but this is just a 3D printed box around a tiny little ESP32 and like an NFC reader writer thing. Anyway, this is designed, you can tell by the logo, to work with Home Assistant. So you can actually do automated things with Home Assistant, but it also reads and writes NFC tags super easy, and you can write them to do lots of different things. You can just write a random code and then have something recognize it, or you can embed like a URL into it. Anyway, yeah, that's another whole video, maybe a series on YouTube that wouldn't conflict. So anyway, thanks everybody for stressing out with me over what it's going to look like. I will let everybody know as soon as I know what my contract is going to look like exactly. I'll let everybody know. My hope is that it'll just all be concerned, or that this is all just concern for nothing. But it's time to go. Thanks everybody for tuning in. And this is now the awkward part. Control G. And now I'm going to say yes to quit the stream. Thanks for tuning in. I'll talk to you later. And thanks for signing up for the new